Welcome back, cover connoisseurs, to Cover Decoder.
Welcome back to the show.
Back to the show.
Where we talk about covers and blow.
This is the show. This is the show that strips off the clothes of rumor and doubt.
Take it off.
To go skinny dipping, and nothing but a lithe body of cover truth. That's right. And I am Inks Penaloni, some call me. And with me from the Audio Oceanographic Institute is the Bringineer. Armed with his Bachelor of Science in Brownology, he is our resident expert in all things pre-1988. And taking us out into the ocean of art is Tapes, the Tape Finder. The Tape Finder General, the last survivor of the VHSS Lambert disaster.
I find you guilty of Blu-ray possession. I will drown you.
Yes. 1,100 covers go in the water. 316 leave the water.
That's right.
And the Gornak got the rest. And tonight we want to send off Season 2 of Cover Decoder. Yes, Season 2 is coming to a close, and we want to send it off with some heat, with some sweat. Good. And as always, with some meat. Because summer blockbusters are back. And before we start the show, you know you can always go to our website to find the slides that we're looking at. But that also brings me to another announcement. We're going to be changing our format in a following season. We're going to take a minute to figure things out, but we realize that we're a very visual show. And we're going to be exploring that avenue. I know you guys like the slides.
You have to see the meat.
Yes. It's not enough. Yeah, it's not enough to hear.
You can't just get pictures of the meat. You actually need to see the meat itself. That's right.
Here's the problem. These boys that I work with on this show are so damn beautiful. They're so good looking that it seems a crime not to share them with the world. So we're going to be remedying that this following year. But for now, we got the heat, we got the meat, and we are doing summer blockbusters. One of our favorite.
All you need is the cowboy hats.
It's time to grill.
Oh boy, yes. So I'm gonna kick this off. I'm gonna kick off this blockbuster with
kick off the jams.
What Bringineer called the blockbuster today.
The original.
Yes.
The original blockbuster.
The original, a very famous, a very good, a very classic movie known as Jaws.
Dun, dun. Likes to eat.
Dun, dun.
Lots of meat.
Dun, 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 dun,
very
dun,
sweet.
dun, dun,
Yes, it's a classic movie. You gotta see it. You gotta show it to your babies. Wait till they're at least 3.5, and really get them used to sharing the water and the world with the beautiful creatures that are out there.
Well, I'll tell you what too. If your kids have trouble swimming, if you show them Jaws, they will suddenly become great swimmers.
They will.
Yeah.
No, they won't even want to go in the water because that's what it did to me.
They have to go in the water.
I didn't even have to see the movie.
But
I didn't have to see the movie as a kid. I just had to look at the trailer. I just had to look at the poster.
Nature's
and then I was
most
just like,
perfect killing machine.
Any water I didn't want to get
has
into.
Found its way onto the beautiful beaches of Amity. Yes, for doing research for the show, I watched it, and the young Inks Jr. he started watching it and was getting pretty nervous until that one kid gets chomped. And the fountain of blood starts pouring out of the water.
Yeah!
And the record skipped for him there. He went, "Oh, this is the movie." But before it was a movie, it was a book. Now this go
on.
Yes, this story is written by Peter Benchley. At the time, he got like $1,000 on an advance to write a novel. He took a chance and decided to become a writer that summer, and he came up with this classic, Jaws.
Jaws.
Now, the cover isn't what we know it is today. It went through many iterations, and there's kind of a story behind it. There's a lot of lore with Jaws, the movie, and I'm sure you've heard a lot of it. Like the shark not working, and Shaw versus Dreyfus all the time, and Spielberg losing his mind out of nervousness. But we're here to talk about the covers, and the covers have their own sordid history. So this first slide that I've got here, I've got 2 covers, and I'm going to have one of you guys describe the one on the far left. This is the first mock-up of the cover.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, go for it, engineer.
Okay. Am I doing both of these?
Launch. Yeah, do both. Go ahead. Do both.
Okay.
Do the first one and let me explain it, and then we'll do the second one.
First of all, none of these covers are good. Right out the gate.
Off the jacket? Are you kidding? Oh, man.
yeah, these aren't good.
Dude,
these aren't
the
good
one
at
on the
all.
right is amazing.
Okay, so the one on the right, you have Peter Benchley's Jaws, a novel. I'm assuming it's black and white because this is just like a photocopy of the cover, or is this what the actual thing looks like? Anyway, it looks like a photocopy. You have just a really badly drawn, painted shark jaw. You know, like you buy in like a seaside town, you know? And inside the mouth is a picturesque painting of a town
of lovely Amity. So
not good.
Yeah, well, this was Benchley's first idea. Him and editor Thomas Congdon, they first had to figure out the title, and they went through a bunch of different titles, such as, and we don't. That's one of the things we haven't brought up, but a title is very important to the cover. If you have a dorky title or a title doesn't make any sense, that is up there with importance of the image. Yes. And so they had such titles as Stillness in the Water and Leviathans Rising and Jaws of Death or Jaws of the Leviathan. And they didn't like any of them, but they did like the word Jaws. So they ended up settling on the word Jaws. They said, you know what, let's just keep it simple, Jaws. And again, Benchley wanted an illustration of Amity through the jaws of the shark, as if the shark is, you know, taking over this picturesque, he's framing this picturesque town. But the design director assigned a Wendell Minor to do this first mock-up.
Wendell Minor.
Wendell Minor. And I guess at the time, these production houses, they had like artists on deck, and Wendell was there, and he sketched this mock-up out. It's not terrible, but eventually the image was vetoed for looking a little too vaggy. There's a little, yeah, you know, I don't mind, but I just feel like, oh God, I just want to, and just can't
Something
stop
about
staring
that
at
shark's,
this. So,
yeah, it's got teeth and everything, just like my wife Wilma.
That's right. So they moved on to another artist. But before we go to that artist, let's take a look at this second cover that I have up here.
Oh, okay. So you've got a black. It's mostly black. This is the jacket. You know, it goes over the book, hardback.
Yep.
And you have a photo of a shark.
I don't think
that's coming up out of the water. It's a photo. Oh, it's a photo.
Bad
this
fish,
is a photo
Chiefy.
that's been
bad fish.
It's got a this isn't it's a shark. It's a great white. You got a great white.
A porker.
And they've gone ahead and put a filter over it, so it's just straight up. The contrast is all the way up. It is black. It is white, and in its mouth is a National Geographic picture of a beach with some kids playing in the water, and it's been placed inside the shark's mouth. This just looks real bad. Real bad.
You don't like this?
No. I think it's.
So
the
so this is the UK.
This
is the UK release. This is the UK jacket by Tom Simmons, and he is credited as a designer.
I think this is awesome.
The Peter Benchley Jaws. The Peter Benchley Jaws on the front jacket is so awkwardly placed. It's like right on the shark's nose.
Okay, I'll give you that. I will give you that. They should have just left it on the spine.
Yeah, like, oh, it looks so like just hacked together. This looks like it took the dude like 10 minutes. Here's your book cover. Here's your book cover.
I like it better than the Vag Town, but I think that my favorite thing about it is that it stretches the whole jacket, and it definitely would catch my eye if I was walking by it, and it stays true to the original Benchley idea.
I would pick Vag.
You would go Vag Town.
You'd go Vag.
Okay, you heard it here, folks.
I would go Toothed Vag over over this. Hey, Jimmy, why don't you do your father a favor and come up with a picture for me for my book?
This whole shark is so big it ate the town. So on the next slide, we have a Mr. Paul Bacon. Now, Paul Bacon landed the job of doing another go at the Jaws design because Wendell Minot was out of town. He was on vacation. He was visiting his mother. Yeah, I gotta go. But so he was out of town. The Vag cover got kicked, and Paul Bacon was there. And God, just look at this adorable man.
You gotta count on Paul Bacon. Oh, Paul Bacon, guys.
I love how he's tucked his pants in. He's got like a nice little brown leather belt.
Let's put those pants in the pocket.
Well,
we don't have pants yet.
I'm just thrilled to be here, and
I'm sorry. The pockets only are allowed human body parts, not clothing. So that mustache. I'm taking that mustache.
I think the big gooey eyes.
That mustache. I like his droopy
I've got plenty of eyes. I got too many eyes in my pocket.
Okay, we'll get the mustache. Bridgetier's pocket is full of the most adorable bits from all of these just precious old men that we've encountered
going to
on
create
this show.
A human with it.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're going to collect enough body parts to construct an entire adorable being.
It came from the pocket. That'll be our horror novel.
It came from the pocket. Yeah.
It came from the pocket. So,
pocket.
Thrown off. Right?
I'm coming. Lumps and chunks.
So, Bacon decided to draw this enormous shark head, and they liked it, but Godfrey, one of the other editors there, or I guess he was the design director, he asked that there be a swimmer in there to give it to give some scale to the shark and to give it, a little bit of menace. And so now you really see how large this shark is. And this ended up becoming the cover for the hardcover release. Now, I just kind of explained it a little bit, but I want to hear your take on it, Tapes.
Yeah, so this is pretty awesome. Well, actually, no, it's not that awesome.
It is awesome.
Because
this is terrifying.
It's a good start.
The Jaws shark looks like a shark that has been wrapped in a condom. It is completely smooth. It's got a little white tip ready to shoot all the blood into. And
collect all the fluids.
Yeah, it's submerging from the deep to penetrate this little swimming figure through the black abyss. I do like how minimal it is. I like that there's nothing but just darkness, and you can see the condom shark, and you can see the skeletal-looking figure.
Yeah.
You know what though?
Here's why I think this works so well.
This almost looks like Space Shark.
I think the bleakness of it. The bleakness of it is terrifying. The fact that it's just a void. The swimmer, there's no water. It's just this figure swimming. And the thing about the shark is, it does look like a big dick. But the fact that you can't really see its teeth, it's kind of terrifying.
What's it gonna do? Gum her to death?
Yeah. I'm saying there could be anything. There could be anything in that mouth. It could just reveal
lasers.
Who knows?
Yeah.
What? Yeah. Tentacles.
You never know what's gonna come out of that mouth, Chiefy.
An ad for old men who don't have teeth.
Yeah. So
do you want to be like this, or do you want
to gum a hot swimmer?
The gummening. They should have named this just Gums.
It's a gum and natives.
Just gums.
Yeah, you're totally right.
What I don't get about this cover is that the only thing that has color, the only thing that's in red is a novel. And
Which
I'm
I
wondering if that is from the director, again, Gottfried. He had said, because in their different iterations of the book cover, they did just a just typography one. And he was like, this looks like a textbook for dentistry. Put a shark on that thing. So I wonder if that stuck, and he was like, we need to put a novel in there so people know that this isn't just, care for your shark kind of
I never
a
understood
pet
that.
But
I
I
never
don't
understood
understand
that.
that. To me,
Why do they put that a novel? Like they don't do that
Yeah, I don't
anymore.
get that.
But back in the 70s, it's like, what could it be? It could be anything.
I mean, if it's a
we gotta
certain
let the people
size
know.
and a certain shape, and it's obvious, and it's in a certain place, it's only a novel is going to sit there. You're not going to find textbooks sitting at the airport. But
This book's 400 pages. I think we need to let people know it's a novel.
Yeah.
They won't know it's a
Yeah.
novel.
yeah, come on now.
They might
But
think it's a textbook about dentures.
this whole story really kind of speaks back to these design house. You can imagine the cubicles and the desks. You're not got email. You got this. Hey, get me Wendell over here. And it's like, Wendell's out of town. Hey, the bacon. What are you working on? Well, I'm working on. Get over here. Can you draw a shark? Don't make
Put
him look
those
too
dentures away.
penisy.
It's time for a shark.
Yeah. And to me, also the only gripe that I have with this one is this doesn't look like a great white shark. It looks like
Yeah.
a tiger
No, it
shark.
doesn't.
The tiger shark has that.
Hey, whatever Paul
That's-
Bacon
that-
wants to call his Johnson is fine. If he wants to call it the Great White
It's
Shark,
the great white.
that's his business.
You better look out.
Wilma calls it the tiger
I'm gonna smash into that other cover so hard. My great white. Well, goodness. Okay.
Paul Bacon's not peeling
Yeah,
the
he's
covers
just-
back on his
I just-
novel.
Well,
Those
the
are
story doesn't
stuck.
end here. We're back in the office. The chairs are swiveling. Heads are popping up over cubicles, and there's yet another editor by the name of Oscar Dissel who did not like this cover because it was too penisy. So the other one was too vaggy. This one's too penisy.
It's too vaggy. It's too penisy.
So
What's it gonna be?
he went to an illustrator,
What are
probably
you gonna give me
outside of
next,
the
an
office,
anus?
named Roger Castell, to do a different one for the paperback.
The
So this
classic.
was the hardcover. It's already out. We need a different illustration for the paperback. And following on Bacon's concept, Castell illustrated his favorite part of the novel, which is,
This is the
the
best.
shark attacking the skinny dipper known as Chrissy.
Oh,
And kind of, if you were here last season, I did Jurassic Park. And just like in Jurassic Park, the illustrator goes to the Natural History Museum, starts taking pictures of bones, and he goes to the Great White exhibit and took a bunch of photography for that. And to get a really just accurate, toothy looking shark. And before I go any further, how about you guys explain this just iconic work of art?
well, I mean, this is just the movie poster, folks. It's everything you've seen from Jaws.
Yep.
It's so iconic. It's so good. It's simple, but it's super effective. We don't have a penis anymore. We don't have a vagina. We've got a little bit of both, and it's dangerous.
Okay, who are you kidding? This is still so phallic. It's ridiculous.
I don't know. It's pretty
I
pointy.
don't get. It's pretty
Yeah.
pointy.
It's pretty pointy and it's long.
Listen, the
and it's
mouth
definitely.
is gaping a
and
lot
it's got
wider, and
things
it's full
hanging off
teeth.
of it.
All right.
I
It's
think
got
your
little
average
nodules.
person, your average person, knows what this cover's about. It's a big, long, pointed thing going towards the naked swimmer. Come on.
So your subconscious is bleeding into your framework of the image, there, Brandon.
What are sharks but giant swimming penises? The whole ocean should buy my book.
There are some people out there who would agree with that.
Well, folks, Jaws is an iconic cover, the final cover that you see
Yep.
that is on the paperback and eventually was used for the movie because it was just too damn good. Roger Castell knocked it out of the park. And like I said, he went to the museum, took the picture of the great whites, finished the shark, and then for the swimmer, he was actually doing a photo shoot for Good Housekeeping, and he requested at the end of the shoot for his model to lay down on these stools and do like a swimmer pose. And
I
then
gotta get my swimmers out. Lay down on
yeah,
this
you want to be a
bench.
star, don't you? And that is
Roger, no.
that's where he got the position of her swimming. And if you zoom right in, you can see everything. You can see that she is not wearing that 1940s bathing suit like
Yeah, he
Paul Bacon
remembers.
put on
Look
her.
at his face. He's just like, I remember that painting.
Roger.
That was a good time.
In fact, when it became the movie poster, they had to sea foam up her tatas a little bit so you couldn't see everything.
Man.
So they threw in a little bit more sea foam. She was really whipping up the
you don't
whip
do
up the
that.
speed that day.
Churning the water.
So the other illustrations, the other drawings that we were looking at, the one by Miner was a pencil drawing. The one that Bringineer hated, the UK release, that was done as a design piece, probably like you said, photocopied or printed at the time. And then Paul Bacon's is definitely again another pencil sketch or graphite sketch. And then we get to Roger Castell's, and it is absolutely oil on board.
Brimming. Yeah, you
Oil
can tell.
on
Yes.
board.
Chalky boy.
Glossy
It's a chalky boy.
and bossy. This thing was 20 by 30, I believe. I don't have it written down, but I do remember reading it
Nice.
because there's a little bit more lore with this cover. It went missing. It was on display at a gallery, and then after that, it just went missing. And so no one really knows whatever happened to this iconic piece of artwork. A lot of people speculate that some Hollywood executive now has it. I remember watching the excellent documentary Eye of the Beholder about D&D art, and that classic Trampier painting of the demon with the eyes, the ruby eyes getting stolen.
Yeah.
That was like leaning behind a dumpster somewhere, and they were throwing out art over the ages, and someone heard about it and went. One of the art directors had heard about it and went running down there. This is when it got all corporate and it wasn't fun anymore. And he started rescuing pieces, and he found, leaned up next to the dumpster, this Trampier piece. So maybe something like that happened to it.
Wow.
I don't know, but it is a mystery. It is out there, and
Dude, some garbage truck driver was like, "Hey, what's this? A picture of a shark? Cool, I'm gonna put it in my pool room."
Yeah.
So some garbage truck driver,
Chick's hot.
70 years old now, has a freaking original Jaws piece in his Coors basement.
Yeah, I like to look at that thing. Look at that toothy penis. I think the shark's fantastic. It's lumpy. It's not symmetrical at all. Its teeth are growing in different, waves. It's just a gnarly beast. Whereas the other one was like a smooth, majestic creature. This thing is just been chewed up and spit out. It's got bubbles rushing out of the side of its mouth because it's coming in hot.
I want a bite of something hot.
And I think one of the most effective things is the gradient of the water going from dark to light. God, that murky gradient is just spooky. So I got one more cover to show you guys. It is a movie poster. It is
dude, this is so chunky. This is like
the Turkish release
of Jaws posters.
Jaws was released 1975. The book was released 1974. The movie came right on the heels of the book because there was a little bit of a bidding war. Producers read the book, and Columbia and Universal immediately started bidding to get the rights to the movie, and it was, like I said, made on the heels of that iconic book. It came out in 1981 in Turkey, and it got this poster to showcase it.
So the shark. So what you have is you have a shark coming out of the water, and in its mouth as an afterthought. Like that was added in later.
It was totally added in later.
Because the shark's fantastic. It's
the
terrifying.
lighting doesn't even look right.
Yeah, the lighting on the shark is like brilliant. Like all the water's rushing off of it. Like it's a freaky looking shark. It's awesome.
It's a little too glossy for me, but it's still lumpy.
I mean, it's
They
all
look like
slick
butcher knives.
Yeah.
It's great.
Yeah. And then inside has been obviously some Turkish guy was like, it's not violent enough. And so they added a
Feeds
woman.
the beastie.
A woman in the mouth of the shark, and
put
the
in
lighting's
the- I put
not
in the
right. I don't think. I'm just getting it close. Oh, yeah. This was definitely done afterwards, like
Yeah.
after the fact.
Well, it's two
Like, he
separate
finished
artists.
The piece.
It's two.
He was all two different artists. He was
Yeah.
all proud of his work. Like the grain isn't even right.
Dude, like,
So
I can't believe
the-
it's not Conan holding up that top jaw.
Yeah, the shark. The shark
I
is
picked
by
a Conan.
Lufek and Renato Casaro, who we've talked
Renato
about many
Casaro,
times
what
on
did
the show.
on.
Casaro did the woman, so I don't know.
Oh no!
If I have to believe that she was on a different piece altogether, and they just said, "Hey, Casaro, we're going to use a piece of your work, okay?" And he was like,
Dude,
"Whatever."
I'm zooming in here. You're absolutely right. This is straight up exacto knifed out of whatever she was in.
I don't
She was
blame
added to
Casaro for this one
picture.
at all. Our
my word.
sweet
Dude,
Italian.
the tones, the color are like completely.
Yeah, I don't blame him
different.
for this one bit. His work was taken, chopped up, and
They cut
slammed
out of my
into that
eyes.
shark's mouth.
Awful. Awful.
So yes, folks, that is Jaws. That is the covers that brought in, that showcase the incredible movie. Again, there's all kinds of lore you can find out there about the movie, and you should. There's so many good stories. It is one of the movies you have to see in your lifetime. One of the movies that, when your kid comes of age,
Yep.
you put that
You watch
on,
and you
and
scare
it
the
still
crap out
holds
of
up
them.
today.
Yep.
And
Yep.
one of the things when I was watching it, one of my favorite things about the movie is there was just this time period in which, like, the actors weren't so like perfect. They weren't so like chiseled out of marble and beautiful like they are
Roy
today.
Scheider?
Dude.
Roy Scheider is just covered in grease and
Dude.
like dripping in sweat.
But
the whole
somehow
movie.
he's handsome. Like his crooked nose and his like fat chin.
Dude, he's got those good sailor looks.
Dude, he just
He
he's
looks-
like a gnarled tree. It's beautiful and twisted at the same time. You've got Richard Dreyfuss and Shaw
Roy
competing
Scheider.
for the
Robert Shaw.
curliest
Robert-
hair.
I wish I was Robert Shaw. in real
Robert
life.
Shaw. Dude,
Just
apparently he
just
was
an
loaded.
annoying, petulant drunk.
Apparently he was
mumbling his way through the movie.
yeah, mumbling away through the movie, Chiefy. Apparently
I
he
hear
was
the
picking on Dreyfuss the whole time and being like, "Look at you, what kind of man are you at your age? It's embarrassing." And he would bet him to climb up that the orca's mast, to the nest. It was like 75 feet up, and he'd be like, "I'll give you $1,000 to go up there, jump out in there, and go to the water." Yeah, what kind of man are you? You can't climb up the mast and go into the water. And then Richard Dreyfuss would always turn him down, and he kept on raising the price. He's like, all right, $2,000. And eventually Steven had to intervene because Richard Dreyfuss just couldn't take it anymore. But there's all kinds of cool stories like that. And yeah,
People being assholes,
it's a classic.
penis shorsharks. It's a good time.
Dude, assholes,
Good times.
penisy sharks. Apparently, two of the producers' wives were like promised the role of Brody's wife, and Steven had to kind of like juggle that, and he ended up getting one of them in a part in a different movie. So there's all that kind of stuff. He's a young director. He's trying to not have a heart attack on this set as the budget explodes. I could go on forever, but we're here to talk about the covers. The covers are so effective and so great, and
Yes, they
there's
are.
just so much done right in this movie. The acting, the music, and the
Even
visual
the sequel's not half bad.
representation. Yeah. I mean, even this lettering that we see here, it started all the way in the beginning, and it stayed pretty much all the way, that hook of the J. looks like a big old hook there, Chief. You could hook a big old porker with that one. So it is the summer blockbuster, according to Bridgeneer. And
It is.
most of the cinematic.
I think it was the first movie to be called a blockbuster.
Yeah, apparently summer was like the dumping ground for movies.
Yeah.
Apparently this was supposed to come out in Christmas.
There was Jaws mania.
Yeah.
When that came out, there was tons of merch. I mean, if you're Steven Spielberg, you were just like, you had to have been clapping and jumping up and down like a 2-year-old child.
I think he was relieved.
He was sure his movie was a failure.
Well, yeah, he was losing his mind. I bet he just was filled with relief. But it's funny because after that, everyone was trying to be Jaws, and even Alien was billed or like sold as, hey, I got a great
Jaws
movie.
in
It's
space.
Jaws in space. And we love Alien here at Cover Decoder HQ. So
Yes.
we got to
Alien's better
thank
than Jaws
Jaws
anyway.
for so many. Just God, I love a good freaking creature movie with a giant animal versus man. Oh, it's just the best thing. You got that with this. You got a Jurassic Park. It's a great formula.
That's right. Well, folks, summer isn't always about beasts and explosions, though.
Or penises
Because
or vaginas.
sometimes summer is about camp and having fun and learning the tools of the trade with someone who may not be the brightest, but just
my
has a
God.
heart of gold.
What is that?
You know what I mean?
No.
You know what I mean?
This is not a black.
Know what I mean?
Oh, no, I mean,
Oh my God!
did he
take
get
it
his
away.
start in commercials or something?
Yeah. Look into the rubbery face of Ernest P. Worrell as
Look at that
he
rubbery
takes
face
us
right
on
there.
a roller coaster of a summer blockbuster here called Ernest Goes to Camp, folks. If you're not familiar
Look
with
at that
Ernest,
poster.
Ernest is a heart of gold maintenance worker who is also inadvertently sort of a sociopath.
Played
He's got a
by
little bit of
the
Forrest Gump in
incredible
him,
Jim Verney.
Yeah, Jim Varney.
Varney.
Yeah,
Varney.
there's something wrong with him. There's something a little off in the head. Ernest, yes, Inks is absolutely right. So the character came about. Jim Varney actually had an established career before he started doing the Ernest stuff, and he did all these commercials with his characters. So Ernest has a split personality disorder, and he will occasionally in his movies adapt those different personalities to
Okay.
take care of the scenario that he's in.
This guy should be institutionalized.
He absolutely should be. I don't know why parents let their children go with him. It's a lawsuit waiting to happen, but they do.
The most
And
terrifying
just by this
thing.
cover, like he's pretty ripped.
He's
He's got that
unhinged.
solid
Look at his
wiry arm.
face.
Look at that Lance Hendrickson body that's being hidden by that denim. Just
Dude,
underneath
he
that
could
denim
snap
is
a
alive.
kid's neck like a chicken. Look at that face.
This man is a menace. You know? Yeah.
One of the most terrifying scenes in any Christmas movie is in Ernest Saves Christmas, the home invasion scene. I call it the home invasion scene, where he brings a Christmas tree into his friend's house. It's all filmed in horrific POV,
Fisheye
wide
lens.
angle, fisheye lens, as he goes around just destroying this person's house inadvertently.
Forcing them to have this Christmas tree. It's terrifying. But yeah, so he got his start doing a variety of things, but what made the Ernest character big was he did a bunch of different commercials for various things, and people loved that character, and you know what I mean became like a...
Know what I mean?
Know what I mean? It became like a slogan. And so eventually Ernest got his own movie, Ernest Goes to Camp, and it was a huge box office success. It was made with $3 million and it made 23. So it grossed $20 million, folks.
Dude.
So, yeah, it was a popular movie. And
People
a lot of
love
people
a village
this
idiot,
movie.
man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And again, the best thing about Ernest is that like he, it's a lot of slapstick, he will inevitably end up crushing himself, compacting himself, or he'll, do the various slapstick things, getting himself hit in the face, falling over. But eventually he'll break into these different characters. He's got like a general. He's got like an old woman with a neck brace that he does. And he just like will use those characters to inform the situation differently. But let's go ahead and talk about the poster for Ernest Goes to Camp here.
When was this out? When was Ernest a thing? Was this in the 90s?
This is 82.
Yeah.
82? Okay.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And into the 90s. Yeah.
I just can't help but think about
time.
Martin Lawrence's show where he played all the different characters. That was kind of a thing.
Where do you think it came from? Ernest P. Worrell. Inks, why don't you explain our sociopathic friend here?
Well, like I said, he is in the Canadian tuxedo, otherwise known as just full denim, even down to his sneakers. Even down to his sneakers, it look denim. It looks like he's got a denim undershirt.
Friends.
Again, pretty wiry, thick arm. Like I said, thinking Lance Hendrickson with the pitchfork kind of body. Full on madman face, twisted completely around, Exorcist style. He is infested. Well, he's got that bulbous red Bilbo nose, he's got and the pink cheeks. He is infested with turtles right now. He's got a full on turtle infestation.
Dude, he has them skewered human centipede style on a rope. And he's leading them.
This is a horror movie. Okay, folks? Then you've got like that thing that you see with like Caddyshack and all those other, where you have to have every single character somehow slammed into this to where it's not annoying. It becomes like a Where's Waldo at this point, and it's kind of fun. Like you get to a point where this could be annoying, but it's one of those things that it's so detailed that you start to just look for all the little fun
there's a
moments.
mummy and a bear.
There's a mummy. There's a mummy and a bear. There's some sort of rabbit. There, everyone's doing something. There's a kid flipping an egg. There's a squirrel. Is that who's the chef?
I don't know.
It looks like Dan Aykroyd's face on John Candy's body. He's trying to catch a trout like a bear. There's just so much going on, but the level of detail is pretty great. Even this kid, you can see the tan lines as you get hugged up closer to his pubescent
his totem pole there.
Yeah, hugging of the totem pole. So, yeah, a lot going on in this cover. It doesn't really give away the movie, but you just know that it's going to be full of Looney Tunes-esque antics.
Zany fun.
Yes.
Zany fun. Slapstick comedy. Yeah, so, and that's exactly what it is. And, know what I mean? And people loved it. And the thing that, part of the reason I picked this, too, was because, honestly, the posters for the first 3 Ernest movies are really good. Like, they're legit art. This could have been any National Lampoon cover. I'm not huge on all those movies, but the art is great. And like the face, Ernest's face is awesome. The detail is really good. So I was kind of curious who did the art. So if we go ahead and scroll down here, it all connects.
Whoa, is that a Jaws?
Dude, this is the best Jaws poster I've seen yet.
Where is this poster for? Is this the Dutch one?
Like Ernest's multiple personalities, so does the art have multiple personalities, folks. The person responsible for Ernest Goes to Camp is Robert Tannenbaum. Oh, Tannenbaum. So many paintings you give us. So this is the original teaser poster for Jaws that he did.
It's the best one.
Engineer, do you want to explain this awesome poster?
Okay, what you have is you've got the ocean, a blue ocean, a nice orange background, and rising out of the ocean, in front of a yellow sun, is Jaws. a giant shark, a great white, leaping out, and in his mouth is a screaming man.
Who is it?
I don't even know.
It's like not even a character.
It's so ridiculous and cartoony. Honestly, it looks almost like pixelated. Like this looks like the title screen for a Super NES Jaws video.
Yeah. Would it be incredible if that was Robert Shaw? Because I mean, his death scene did last like 10 minutes too long.
That's the most terrifying part of the movie right there.
When he gets freaking, yeah, I bet it's Robert Shaw because he doesn't get bit in half. He gets bitten and pulled in.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. He just gets like,
but he's
gets
hanging.
like chunkily
He's
like
hanging by a
swallowed.
thread.
Oh, dude, that's such a brutal part of the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Robert Tannenbaum did this amazing Jaws poster, and next to it you see what happens to Ernest's victims.
Oh, Black Christmas. Okay, let me tell you,
Christmas.
this movie cover really freaked me out for some reason
is
as a
this?
kid. I mean, it's a super.
Look at this cover. It's terrifying.
Black Christmas was a slasher movie that came out like during the early days when slasher movies were first really getting like a going. So Halloween,
It caused a huge stir.
Friday the 13th, like these holiday themed slasher movies became a thing. And so, of course, Black Christmas, which is about a killer bumping off people during Christmas. Christmas is supposed to be this holy time of family, and no one wanted, at least normal people wanted, a horror movie about Christmas. And so what you have is beautifully painted leaves. What are those leaves?
Holly leaves.
Holly leaves.
Holly leaves. A beautiful wreath of holly leaves, like beautifully, impeccably painted with perfectly shiny little berries on there. And in the middle is a woman in a rocking chair with a plastic bag over her face.
Oh, and it's just, this is horrifying.
Yeah, and she's been trying to breathe, and so the plastic's all like sucked into her mouth.
She's got that
She's holding a
blow-up doll
doll
face.
Like, she's got blow up doll face.
You can win her head at the carnival with a ping pong ball.
Ernest, no! No, Ernest!
Yeah, really disturbing.
Oh, so it's amazing.
What's in her lap?
It's a
That's
doll.
a doll.
What?
God, it's creepy,
What's
dude.
this grown
It's
woman doing
creepy.
with a doll?
I know. The mystery deepens.
The mystery deepens.
She's got this
Just
doll
like
hugged up
Ernest.
against her chest.
Ernest is a deep, mysterious pool that connects so much art, folks. We're going to skip down to our final
I
Ernest
would
slide
say
here.
the thing that I remember, the cover that I remember the most was Ernest Scared Stupid at
Yep.
at Pappy's Vigils,
right here.
and it was not
I
art.
love
Oh, is that the
this
one you got?
movie. Yeah, scroll down.
Yes. You have a Goosebumps cover. This is straight up a Goosebumps cover.
Yeah.
Except out of the pumpkin is Jim Varney as Ernest, looking terrified. Definitely some sort of painting or digital work, and then they just went ahead and they cut Varney into the image.
When did this one come out?
early 90s?
Yeah, I think this was the third one, so it was probably like, yeah,
91.
It was probably, I don't know. It was probably
91,
like
I just looked it up.
92. So, okay.
Yeah, so
91.
I mean, you don't really
I
have a
love
whole lot
this
of
as a kid.
digital. You can't do this digitally at this point.
You're gonna freak out when I tell you who did this.
Who did
So,
this? This is really
Just
well done.
like Worrell, this is Ernest's legacy, folks, because his movies may not be great. Ernest Scared Stupid is great, though. Watch that one. It's actually just an awesome movie.
effects.
Which one's
Yeah, it's
great?
Awesome
fun.
effects. Ernest Scared Stupid. That's
Stupid,
the one.
Ernest Scared Stupid. Yeah.
The rest of his movies may be a bit of a joke. Your kids will love them, whatever. But his character brought artists together for this love of Ernest, for this love of the dumb, lighthearted comedy. And even people like the great John Alvin had to get a
John
taste.
Alvin.
Even John Alvin
John
had to get
Alvin.
down
Gosh,
on the Worrell.
folks, if you're not on Patreon, you don't know, but I did a bit on John Alvin. He is often uncredited, and he is he's everywhere. He was doing all kinds of stuff in the industry. Check out the
All the butt
was it
stuff.
24 by 36, I think is the name of the doco. They do a big part on John Alvin. and he is an unsung hero, and he's a chameleon. He can really just do anything.
I mean, folks, we're talking E.T., we're talking Star Wars,
Willow,
Blade Runner,
Ernest
Jurassic
Scared
Park,
Stupid, all the good
Ernest
movies.
Scared Stupid,
All the good
the good
Willa.
stuff, all the good stuff.
Bagel Cat. Yeah, folks. So, like I said, the Worrell legacy here, it's clear to see. Amazing paintings. Mr. Christmas Tree. We got John Alvin. This is the summer that you didn't know you needed. It's the summer that you want, folks. So go out there.
That's right.
And watch some Ernest. Okay?
So,
you know what I mean?
does it go?
Know what I mean?
Does it go camp and then Scared Stupid?
No, I think it's Camp, Goes to Jail, Scared Stupid, and dude, there's
I
like
think
7 Ernest movies.
Christmas was the second one.
Okay, maybe it was Christmas, then Goes to Jail.
Ernest Goes to Jail, I think, is the fourth.
That's like the Shawshank Redemption, but with Ernest instead.
I was gonna say they're kind of in like seasonal order. If you've got camp and then Scared Stupid.
Army. He goes to the army too, doesn't he?
Yep, he goes to the army, goes to Africa. Don't watch that one.
Wait, he isn't. Goes to Africa?
Yeah, he does. Yeah, yep,
I didn't
that
know
one.
that.
That's a '90s one. Finally, folks, to close out our Ernest segment here, I want to ask a question. If you could make the next Ernest film, what would it be? And I'm going to go first to go with my theme here. Mine would be Ernest Kills Again. And it would be about Ernest in this town. His friends are mysteriously dying. And the twist of it is that one of Ernest's multiple personalities is the killer. And he has to find out which one.
Okay. Ernest Goes to Hell.
That's a good one.
Ernest dies, mistakenly goes to hell, wins lovable friends in the forms of various tortured and maimed souls.
Slapstick with
Slapstick all the way. He annoys the heck out of Satan, and then finally he proves that he's been mistakenly brought to hell, and he's allowed to be sent back to Earth, which works for Satan because he knows how much Ernest annoys people, and it works in his favor.
Well, for lack of creativity, I want to do Ernest Goes Fishing. And
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I want him to go fishing. I want him to get attacked by a Jaws-type shark and end up stranded on an island where he then has to play all of his different personalities as if
keep himself going insane.
As it, and he has this like Castaway Tom Hanks moment, but if Tom Hanks had multiple personalities. I don't know how he gets rescued yet, but I want to see just a solo Ernest, like sweatily, manically playing all of his different characters to himself on the island, but first being attacked by some sort of giant creature. Doesn't have to be a shark. Shark would be good. I'll take Kraken as well. But
love it.
Kraken.
Yeah,
I love it.
Ernest
That's the
Goes
thing,
Fishing.
Ernest is so flexible. I mean, you could even make a porn parody. Ernest Goes Down. It's all there, folks. It's all there.
And with that,
Ernest goes all the way. Oh, jeez. Okay.
Ernest goes to Jeff LaSuave's
I need to cleanse my
backyard
palate.
pool party.
Jeff LaSuave.
So
all right, Brendan,
that way
there.
he ends up like chased by the mafia because the person that he does the film with is like the daughter of some mafioso, Don.
And yeah, I'm not having it. I'm not having my daughter film a porno
Giovanni.
with that 2-bit screwball. I'm not having it.
I want to see him at the bottom of the river with cement shoes. Know what I mean? Okay.
I want Jeff the Whacker on this one. You get me Jeff the Whacker. I want this guy whacked.
Yeah.
You understand me?
The handyman.
You've been through a hard winter.
Oh.
You're tired of the rains of fall. You go outside because it's summer, but summer's gone. Where is it gone? Emilio Estevez have stolen it. Because he's the repo man, and he's here to repo your summer. And here we go, my friends.
Look at this baby boy.
Repo my summer.
My favorite, one of my favorite movies of all time. And
man.
I think for what it was a blockbuster of sorts. It's definitely a summer movie.
Oh,
it's
sweat.
It's a piece of delightful 80s punk trash.
Oh yeah.
It's as a well-loved following. I am, of course, talking about the Alex Cox film from 1984, Repo Man. This film stars Harry Dean Stanton.
Even this
Emilio
poster's sweaty.
Estevez.
I know.
Yes.
This poster has all kinds of film. The color palette has been run through cigarette smoke.
Right.
I'm just gonna jump in here. We're in an alleyway.
Yeah, you tell us. You give us.
We're in an alleyway. You got the gradient of the sky going to the smog of the city. You've got this human centipede kind of a thing going on with these bandits on the left.
These characters.
This guy is hugged up next to this girl in the middle, and
That's one of the Rodriguez brothers. Show some respect.
That's right.
Well, then you've got Lurch on the other side with this young punk girl. And if you haven't seen the movie, that's okay, because there's a description at the top. You get a nice, good plot summary right up here at the top, so you don't really need to see the movie unless you have to, because it's written all right here for you. And then right in the front,
but
we've got.
Works. Somehow it works.
It's not a bad placement for it's written in the city. We got Meet Otto. He's a clean-cut kid in a dirty business. He's a repo man, and he steals cars legally. Now he's out to repossess a 64 Chevy Malibu with an amazing reward of $20,000. Damn it, this is really descriptive. But Otto is not alone. There are others who want to get that car and will do anything to get it. The risks are great, because hidden in the trunk is something so incredible it could destroy them all. Yes. Oh, wait, we're not done. We'll give you a hint. It glows in the dark. Ooh.
And then there's one more tagline below Repo Man.
Is this plutonium?
It's 4 a.m. Do you know where your car is?
and right up front, we've got Ryan Gosling. He's got the cut off sleeves here. No, it's Emilio, but it could be Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling could play him in the remake.
They're both very sexy men.
The son of Repo Man.
That's all you need to know,
dude. He's got that bleach tipped hair. I don't know if that's just because of the poster or if that's what he really looks like in the movie. Yeah. Man, he's got the full outfit. He's so tough. And he's being exposed to like so much radiation, he'll never have kids again.
Yeah, the car trunk is open, and there's some very very poorly airbrushed light seeping out of it.
Yes.
Now, this there's no artist attached to this. It was put together by some Universal chumps, probably. It's clearly photographs of the actors. All put together collage style with some airbrush over the top, right?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to go into the history of who made this film. I'm going to go into the very interesting evolutions of this poster. Because let me tell you something. The director, Alex Cox, was not a fan of this poster.
Oh.
He was not. He didn't like it at all. And I got a little paragraph of a write-up he did on it. This is the original poster, designed by Universal Pictures. Have you ever seen anything more lame? It looks like a poster for a spin-off of The Warriors. Harry Dean Stanton, the first billed actor, is stuck in the back behind his car. Emilio Estevez has been given leg extensions. The rays of light emerging from the trunk don't line up with any source. The dreadful Meet Otto, he's a clean cut, etc., attempts a written explanation of the film, betrays the studio's complete failure to understand it, and worst of all, the title of the film is in the wrong place, too small, and black against a dark background. Why? It's almost as if Universal didn't want people to see the film. The producers and I were so annoyed by this, and then what they did was they made a stencil. They made a stencil and drove around town and they found as many posters as they could, and you can see the results.
Yes.
They spray painted over an extreme punk style all the posters they could find. So this movie was a low-budget film. Universal greenlit it. It was Alex Cox's first movie. Alex Cox was very interested in punk at the time, and in the early 80s when this was filmed. Punk was hardcore punk was a big deal. It was kind of exploding, and so he wanted to make a film featuring the music, featuring the styles, and trying to get that sort of that flavor of 80s LA into a movie. He was given a budget of $1.5 million to make it, and the studios just didn't understand it. They didn't really want anything to do with it, it seems.
Kind of understandable, to be honest, after seeing the film.
Thus the lame poster. However, people loved this movie. It only made $3.7 million, probably due to the lack of support the studio gave it. But to this day, it has a 96% on Rotten Tomatoes. Ooh, it's an adored film. People love it. And so you can kind of see the difficulties of being a creative person in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Even in the 80s, which was, I feel like, a golden age for movies, where pretty much your crazy idea was going to get made, right?
What I don't understand is if you have a movie that you're not too confident about, what you do is you fork over a little bit of money to get an awesome poster. We've seen this a million times with B monster movies. You got the giant tarantula. The tarantula looks like garbage, but the poster is incredible. You've got Godzilla movies. Godzilla's a man in a rubber suit, and it's not all that convincing sometimes. Amazing posters.
Sometimes.
What you do, if you have a movie that doesn't have all the effects and all the stuff that you fork over the cash for an excellent cover, and it'll
make
pay
it look
back.
good.
Yeah.
You make it look good. So poster aside, great movie as a punk rock soundtrack by the Plugs, Black Flag, the Circle Jerks, Suicidal Tendency, and Iggy Pop even did the main theme song. In general, it has a very sort of surf punk kind of soundtrack to it, which goes quite well with the film. So moving down here, we got a couple other versions of the movie. So the one
these are so cool.
who wants to describe these?
Inks, I feel like you should do the left one because this is right up your alley.
Yeah, I love this. This is very, this is very minimalist. I'm not. There's a lot of minimalist garbage out there, but sometimes it's done right, and it just gives you a little bit of flavor. We don't need we don't need to do full Scarface, slam the cocaine in the face. We need just a little something to get us excited about the film. And this does that for me. You've got the skeleton, you've got the city, a map of the city in toxic green, but then it goes up into this like punk mohawk. It's excellent design. I love it, and all I know is that this movie is going to be punk as fuck, and it's going to be set in Los Angeles because you've got that right in the middle of the map. And I don't know. This could be an incredible album cover. It's well done.
Yeah. So what this is, it's the Criterion Collection release for the film.
Thank goodness for Criterion sometimes.
If your movie makes it onto Criterion, you've got a good film. You've done it. So what's cool about this is the beginning of the film, which, like, when I first watched this, it electrified me. Like, it was, for an 80s movie, it was the coolest thing I'd seen.
It was a lightning bolt to the penis.
It was basically, the credit sequence is just this road map of LA in the green, just like this, just kind of flashing. And the way it's done, it's so modern looking, with the Iggy Pop music going on in the background. Very, very cool. Now, this next poster is a Ghana poster.
We're going to Ghana at some point.
Yes, a poster from Ghana. This poster does not it does not reflect the film very well. But what's going on?
I want to see Ghana's version of Ernest now.
Oh, dude! Yes! Yes! It's got to exist. This is so freaking cool. So you've got, all right, this is just like the apocalypse has happened, and you've got 3 decapitated characters from the movie for some reason, holding different weapons. Below them is the irradiated car glowing. And then down at the bottom, you've got, I think, one of the characters in the movie getting ready to blast our skull friend from the Criterion collection in the face with a snub-nosed gun. And he's dual-wielding a machete and a hatchet, and there's explosions everywhere. Like,
yeah.
Dude.
This is not a good representation of the movie.
This is a blockbuster right here.
A real quick blurb about Repo Man. It watches very much like Dazed and Confused. It is the everyday life of a punk kid trying to make his way, and he gets asked by Harry Dean Stanton, a greasy, very greasy, they're all greasy. All the Repo Men are just greasy, to become a Repo Man, and so punk Emilio Estevez puts on the suit and becomes a Repo Man. Meanwhile, a car driven by an insane scientist with aliens in the trunk is just driving around. Suddenly, the government's after this car. Other Repo Men pick up on how much the government wants this car, so now they're after it too. And everyone wants the car with the aliens in the trunk. It is a blast. It is 80s, so it hasn't aged well in some ways, but you'll watch the movie, you'll like what you see. And lastly, the final movie poster that I think best represents the movie is this one. And I'm not going to explain it. You just need to watch the movie to know what it's all about.
Huh. Okay.
And that's all I've got for you today. Man. Repo Man.
Wow.
Dirty LA. Punk. A good time.
Dude, you can just smell the smog coming off of these posters. I have to say, like,
plethora of covers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Man-eating sharks.
Man-eating sharks.
Insane, multiple personalities.
Handyman.
Dirty men who will steal your car.
Yeah, that's who we are, folks. We hope you've enjoyed it. Folks, we hope you enjoyed this season. We sure as hell did.
Yeah.
It was a long ride. It was a hard ride, but it's been so much fun. So much fun. And like
it's a hard ride for us cover cowboys.
That's right.
Cover cowboys.
This is not our only this is not our only trail that we ride. We got many trails that we're on.
Many snail trails.
But
we're dragging our butts on so many carpets.
There have been a few diehard fans. I have to say Strider Kaijin is one of them.
Yep. Mike Greylord. All of our Patreons
guys,
you're
have been
awesome.
Been great, and those kind of things really like put a little fuel, a little kick in our horses to keep with the theme. But we can't thank you enough for just being on the trail with us, getting those saddle sores that you're just proud of.
That's right. Yeah, so folks, like Ink said, we will be going dark for a little bit here for a couple months while we figure out our new video format. With that, we will still be on Instagram. Format. So you can still send us covers. You can still send us comments, questions. You can still email us at coverdecoder.com. We'd love to hear from you and comment and chat about what's coming up. But fear not, because you will see us again in the flesh. And I don't know exactly what form it's going to take, but it's going to be a whole lot of fun, folks.
Like Ernest.
Yeah, like Ernest. A little bit scary at times.
A little bit greasy.
But a whole lot of fun.
Yeah. But always back in some form or another.
All right, folks, and just remember, whether you're here or whether you're there, there are always covers everywhere, folks. Everywhere. Yeah.